Yes, girls, we were talking about Mr. Kurtz, that how did he die and what type of feelings Marlowe has about him. Okay. So he was just comparing the life which Mr. Kurtz was having in that wilderness among the natives and the life where when he lives, if an individual lives in a civilized society, having civilized people around him, surrounded by good neighbors who are, sympathizing with him. So he has died in solitude, and that is an utter solitude according to Marlowe. Okay. So here we find that Marlowe is having a different opinion again for Mr. Kurtz. The first opinion was that he himself was like a native. He himself has gone mad or crazy and considered or declared himself like something of God. And then he himself has forgot by civilizing the natives, he himself has forgot about civilization himself, and he himself has kind of become a cannibal. Okay. So Marlowe he is just pitying him that he has died in utter solitude, which is a terrible thing. Okay, where he is not having a neighbor, he is not having a butcher in one corner of the city, he's not having a policeman in the other corner of the city. Okay. Okay, so this is it. Now let's go to the letter that Mr. Kurtz has written. Okay, this is the letter and some of the characteristics of Mr. Kurtz. It is page 81. I have already shared the screen with you. I am sure that it is visible to you. Okay. So Mr. Kurtz, for the shade of Mr. Kurtz. This initiated rep from the back of nowhere honored me with its amazing confidence before it vanished altogether. This was because it could speak English to me. The original Kurtz had been educated partly in England, and as he was good enough to say himself, his sympathies were in the right place. His mother was half English, his father was half French. All Europe contributed to the making of Kurtz. Now, this is very much symbolic that all Europe contributed to the making of Mr. Kurtz. Why the whole Europe has contributed making of Mr. Kurtz? Because Mr. Kurtz is a complete representation. He's not a simple individual. He has gone to Congo, which is another part of the world, as a representative of a complete nation of the whole Europe. So the whole Europe has contributed to make this one person with all these characteristics of a colonizer. Okay, so Mr. Kurtz is not an individual. Each and every attribute that he is having in his personality is the attribute of a colonizer, and that is all because the whole Europe has contributed in making this one person, that is Mr. Kurtz. And by, I learned that most appropriately, the International Society for the Suppression of Savage Customs had entrusted him with the making of a report for its future guidance. Now he's saying that this society, the International Society, now see the name of the society, International Society for the Suppression of Savage. Now, even the discourse is itself, the words itself are very much biased. Okay. What is biased is suppression. Okay. Suppression is a word to suppress someone. Why to suppress someone? And that's someone who is savage. So who am I to call someone savage? Okay, so savage is in fact the native. So suppression of the native customs have instructed Mr. Kurtz to write a letter that could be a kind of, a pamphlet of instructions for the other colonizers who will come after him, how to tame, colonize, or civilize the native. Okay, so for the future guidance, they have asked him to write something, and he had written it too. I have seen it, I have read it. It was eloquent, vibrating with eloquence, but too high strung. I think 17 pages of close writing he had found time for. So this pamphlet, you can say, or the letter which he has written for future guidance of the colonizers is how many pages? It is 17 pages, okay? But this must have been before his, let us say, nerves went wrong and caused him to preside at certain midnight dances ending with unspeakable rites. So Marlowe is saying probably he has written this pamphlet before he has gone mad. So when he has gone mad and crazy, what he used to do, he used to dance at midnights. Okay. And with unspeakable rights, which, as far as I reluctantly gathered from what I heard at various times, were offered up to him. Do you understand? To Mr. Kurtz himself. But it was a beautiful piece of writing. The opening paragraph, however, in the light of later information, strikes me now as ominous. He began with the argument that we whites, from the point of development we had arrived at, must necessarily appear to them savages in the nature of supernatural beings. We approach them with the might as of a deity. Now, the first paragraph that Mr. Kurtz has started with is what? That when we reached here, we were like we the whites, when we reached at the savage places of the savages, the natives, we were someone like supernatural for them. We were not like natural beings for them. We were more than normal and supernatural for them. So to approach a supernatural being, they approached us like the god. Okay, like we were as powerful as the gods, as a deity, and so on and so on. By the simple exercise of our will, we can exert a power for good practically unbounded, etc. From that point, he soared and took me with him. The peroration was magnificent, though difficult to remember. It gave me the notion of an exotic immensity ruled by an august benevolence. It made me tingle with enthusiasm. This was the unbounded power of eloquence, of words, of burning noble words. So, this is what Mr. Kurtz has written in this letter, which is a kind of future guidance for the colonizers. He has given them all the rules and regulations how to tame these natives. Okay. Um, I have highlighted this for you as well, but this is the same very thing which is repeated once again. So I'll just give you this copy. There is no need of repeating it. I'll give you this copy, which is highlighted copy of my book. Okay. And then on this page, which is page number, let me check the page number. It is page number 84 with me, and this is the funeral ceremony they have performed for Mr. Kurtz. So he's saying this I did directly. The simple funeral was over. We were going half speed, keeping right in the middle of the stream, and I listened to the talk about me. They had given up Kurtz, they had given up the station, Kurtz were dead, and the station had been burned, and so on and so on. The red hired pilgrim was beside himself with the thought that at least this poor Kurtz had been properly avenged, say. We must have made a glorious slaughter of them in the bush. Okay, so this is done. Okay, Mr. Kurtz is no more with them now. And then we find by the end of, which I have already told you, by the end of this novel, we find that he hands over the things of remains of Mr. Kurtz to his intended one, that is his fiancée. And then it is over. She's crying and she's full of grief. So because of her grief, Marlowe finds himself in grief as well. And he's sad. Okay, so Marlowe is sad. Okay, let me read the lines for you. Okay. Yes, she stood up, her fair hair seemed to catch all the remaining light in a glimmer of gold. I rose too, and of all this she went on, mournfully of all his promise and of all his greatness, of his generous mind, of his noble heart, nothing remains, nothing but a memory. You and I, we shall always remember him, I said hastily. No, she cried, it is impossible that all this should be lost, that such a life should be sacrificed to leave nothing but sorrow. You know what vast plans he had. I knew of them too. I could not perhaps understand, but others knew of them. Something must remain. His words, at least, have not died. His words will remain, I said. So, which words? The words that he has written, okay? And his example, she whispered to herself. Man looked up to him, his godness shone in every act, his example. His goodness shone in every act, his example. True, I said his example too, yes. His example, I forgot that. But I cannot believe, not yet, I cannot believe that I shall never see him again, that nobody will see him again, never, never, never. So she's very sorry for him and she's full of grief, okay? And then by the end, we find that Marlowe is sitting, just sitting like a Buddha, okay, in a pose of a meditating Buddha. Marlowe ceased and sat apart, indistinct and silent, in the pose of a meditating Buddha. Nobody moved for a time. We have lost the first of the ebb, said the director. Suddenly, I raised my head. The offing was barred by a black bank of clouds, and the tranquil waterway leading to the uttermost ends of the earth flowed somber under an overcast sky, seemed to lead into the heart of an immense darkness. So those clouds, okay, they are just um, getting up on these tranquil waterway, and they are going into the heart of that immense darkness. So what is the heart of darkness? That place Congo is the heart of darkness, in fact. Why? Because severe kind of ignorance and uncivilization is going on there. That is why it is called the heart of darkness. Okay, so that is all, girls, about the novel. The main themes in this novel, the most important theme is colonialism. So this is a colonial discourse, as I told you. And in answer to this discourse, because this is a novel in which a European has shown the colonized ones as savage, okay, as cannibals. So just to answer this novel, there is an African writer, HB. He has written another novel to answer this. I just forgot the name of that novel. I have already told you the name of that novel. So in that novel, he has just celebrated the culture of the natives, the native Africans, that they are not uncivilized, they are not savage. So colonialism is one of the main themes. Materialism is one of the main themes in this novel. We do find realism in this novel. Okay, so these are the main traits of modern age as well. So whatever modern age has the traits, the same characteristics are there present in the writing of Joseph Conrad. Okay, girls. So that is all about this novel. If you have any questions to ask me about this novel, you can ask me. And one thing that I told you, the writing style is very much important because it is written in a very postmodern technique, that is frame breaking technique. We have frames within frames, okay? One story, and in that story, another story, okay? And that is it. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, girls. Any
Yes, ma'am.
questions?
Can I?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Ma'am, I just want to ask one thing. I may miss the point when you were, talking about the Kurds, that he lost his civilization or moral, I guess. Am I right?
Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly.
So, what exact, in my mind, I just want to ask that what he exactly did, or what to whom he killed, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
what he did that he lost his moral and he become unethical.
Yes. As I told you that he has gone to that place as the most civilized person. And what is the definition of a civilized person? A person who behaves nicely with all the human traits, okay? Not the animal-like traits. So the opposite word of civilized is uncivilized, okay? And it can be savage, it can be brutal as well. The opposite of civilized, okay? So what Kurds used to do by the end in the that Congo is killing people, okay? Snatching their lands from them, snatching ivory from them, and killing people for the sake of ivory, making them act like his slaves, and as to obey him as if he is some god. So someone who becomes a dictator and a god-like figure and just forgets about all human traits comes under the definition of uncivilized. He is not then civilized anymore. So those are the things which has made him uncivilized. Okay. So he
Oh,
is
okay,
more
okay. Thank you
like,
so much, ma'am.
not more like the natives. Probably the natives are more civilized than him. It is they, the colonizers, who are saying that the natives are uncivilized. But what is shown to us is that the most civilized is the most uncivilized. The one who is telling himself the most civilized one, who is declaring himself the most civilized one, is doing all the uncivilized things. Okay, is it clear? I hope it is
Yes, ma'am.
clear.
It's clear.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Anyone
ma'am.
else, please? You are welcome, dear. I really appreciate your question. I want more questions from your class.
Ma'am, can I?
Yes, please.
Uh, Ma'am, I want to ask you that what does writer tell us about this novel means? What idea he transferred to us that he uh, promote colonialism here or not?
No,
What does he want to?
yes, of course.
Yes,
Like he's not favoring the natives. This novel in itself is a colonial discourse. That is why Chinua Achebe has written the novel Things Fall Apart. I just remembered the name. Things Fall Apart is the name of that novel, which is a counter discourse to this novel, which has answered this novel that no, Africa is not not an uncivilized place as is portrayed in this novel, as is presented is this novel. The natives are not that much uncivilized and savage and brutal as the writer has shown them. So the answer of your question is that the writer is, of course, promoting colonialism to say that yes, the native wants to be civilized. Okay.
yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Ma'am, how many videos have you uploaded, the recordings?
Fatma, I'm not sure. Probably 2 or 3. I'm not
Ma'am,
sure.
on YouTube, right now I'm seeing Dr. Fauzia's page, and
Yes.
channel, and she has uploaded, I think, only one.
No, it is not
It
one,
is,
probably 2 or 3. I'm sure it is
okay.
not
Yes, ma'am.
one, but it is more than one. Probably 2 or 3, okay?
Uh, I also checked there was one video which I
It's
found.
Just
Mortal
one.
Novel, Heart of Darkness, the title is, and it was uploaded 11 days
Exactly.
ago,
Okay, I will
before the
share.
Tuesday.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
will share probably 2 or 3. I'll share the links with you. Fine?
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
Okay.
Share the link of this recording also, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Okay, girls. Anyone else? Yes, any